Have you ever pondered about the essence of prayer and its significance in our lives? It's not just a ritual, but a profound relationship with God, one that's as spontaneous and sincere as a child's interaction with their parent. This truth is echoed in the Bible, specifically Matthew 18:3, where Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, unless you change and like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." Consider this: God extends an open invitation to us, inviting us to communicate at any time. This invitation is not bound by time or place. It's an ongoing conversation, dialogue that's open and accessible at all times. On this note, Matthew 6:6 advises, "But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you." Like a little child who doesn't worry about the right moment to share their thoughts, fears, or joys, we too can approach God with the same fearlessness and honesty. A child rushes into their parents' presence, blurts out questions, and tells things as they truly are, without any regard for who's listening or how it might be perceived. And that, according to the teachings of Jesus, is how our relationship with God should be. It's not about getting it right, but about being genuine and open-hearted. These teachings resonate strongly with Hebrews 4:16. Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. Prayer often becomes a source of confusion for many. Questions such as, where should I pray? What words should I use? Should I stand, sit, or kneel? What direction should I face? And when should I pray? Often cloud our minds. However, Jesus reassures us that none of these things truly matter. In a conversation with the Samaritan woman, Jesus clarified this point. He said it doesn't matter where or when you worship. What matters is that you do it in spirit and truth. As John 4:24 states, God is spirit, and his worshipers must worship in the spirit and in truth. God is spirit, and those who worship him must do so in spirit and truth. The Bible doesn't confine prayer to specific places. Yes, there are temples and sanctuaries but they serve as focal points for collective worship, not as exclusive spaces for prayer. Paul echoes this sentiment in 1 Timothy 2:8. I want men everywhere to lift up your holy hands in prayer without anger or disputing. Prayer can be offered anywhere because God is everywhere. This is undeniably true according to Jeremiah 23:24. Can anyone hide in secret places so that I cannot see him? Declares the Lord. Do not I fill heaven and earth? Declares the Lord. Solomon, the builder of the great temple in Jerusalem, acknowledged this, stating that even the heavens cannot contain God. These verses reassure us that the act of prayer is not confined to specific locations or times, but is a universal act of communion with an omnipresent. Unlike some faiths that prescribe specific times for prayer, there isn't a strict dictate on when or how often we should pray. Psalm 145:18 proclaims, "The Lord is near to all who call on him, to all who call on him in truth," emphasizing that there's no wrong time to reach out to him. The question, when should we pray, is akin to asking, how often should I talk to my significant other or children each day? The counsel provided by 1 Thessalonians 5:17 is to pray without ceasing. Prayer is not about rules. It's about nurturing relationship with a higher power, a relationship that cannot be confined. Us, in the same way, the Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit Himself intercedes for us through wordless groans. This shows that even if we do not have the right words, our intentions are understood. So prayer is a unique journey for each of us. It's about sincerity, about opening our hearts and minds. It's not about the right words, places, or times. It's about a heartfelt dialogue, one that's always open and accessible. So engage in this conversation, embrace this relationship, and experience the transformative power of prayer in your life.